Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Katamari Forever. I'm finally playing my preferred cousin, Miso here, with a couple of the stylish accessories we picked up last time. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have time to show off every last royal present in action that we obtained, since we got a few last time and we're going to be picking up a few more this time. But in any case, we're nearing the end of the game here, so let's head to Farewell. Roll up RoboKing's Reactor Core to make a planet. Yeah, like I said, this and the stage before it are sort of the final encounters versus the King and the RoboKing. This time around, the RoboKing has become obsolete because the King of all Cosmos is back up to 100%, so we've got to undo what we did at the start of the game and dismantle the RoboKing. This is one of my favorite stages in the game, actually. It's not terribly complex, and it's actually probably the smallest stage in the game. Except maybe like the tutorial and the like sweet stage at the very beginning, but like for this stage in the game, it's a really small, simple stage, but it's very stylish, and I like the RoboKing character. So it's cool to be rolling around on top of him, which is what we're doing here. Going to be picking up individual components of the RoboKing with the intent of getting large enough to pull the Reactor Core out of him. But before we can even get to the Reactor Core, we've got to unlock it. And we're going to be doing that by collecting each of the broken hearts on this stage. So let's get to action doing that. To start out with, we only have 1 minute, but each broken heart we collect is going to increase the amount of time allotted to us. So let's start up. The King's already alerting us that we have less than a minute remaining, but that's okay, because the first broken heart is right up that ramp. And now, the second broken heart over on the other arm of the RoboKing. But no need to head directly there because we've had another minute added to our time. We have almost 2 minutes now in total. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to collect these robo parts here. It's good to be able to collect these larger blue panels as well as the white panels before getting the second broken heart, because if we're at the correct size, we'll be able to basically pull all of the pieces off of this entire arm here using this broken heart. All of the broken hearts on this stage, by the way, are the instantaneous variety. There are no lasting ones here. If there were, they would probably be very, very powerful. So it's for the best that they are the way they are. More and more doors. Each door we open here in the RoboKing's chest is replaced with another one. That's okay, because also a new broken heart appears each time. So we're going to climb up there and get that one, and there's one final door to open, and the broken heart is there on the RoboKing's face. But I'm not going to be headed directly there because there are a few more things we have to collect on this stage. We have some cousins and some royal presents. So let's hop down here and grab Colombo off of this vacuum cleaner. If I don't just jump right over him. Come on. Come on, Miso. Jump up there. There we go, Colombo. Welcome aboard. Yarn from our stash. Yes, okay. So, actually, let's head back to the RoboKing's right arm because I saw a royal present over there that we might be large enough to collect by now. You may have seen a tortoise and a hare chasing one another around over there. Let's head in that direction and find them. I'm having trouble getting up here. There we go. Okay. Heading over here back to the right arm. There's the hare and there's the tortoise. And it looks like we're not large enough to get that royal present. Certainly not large enough to get the tortoise, so I suppose I'll be coming back there a little bit later. There's also another royal present in the King's crown that we'll be getting, but the remaining cousin and royal present I'm not planning on getting this time around. I'll be coming back to the stage for those ones because they're much more involved. They're probably two of the harder to collect collectibles in this game. Actually, I've hit a bit of a drought here. I was expecting to be able to get these smaller pink leg panels by now, but that's not the case. So I guess I'll collect more blue panels first. As you can see, as we get the outer shell of the RoboKing chipped away, you can see some interesting objects underneath. It seems that the best materials were not necessarily available when the cousins built this guy. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the last broken heart. I feel that I'm at a pretty good size right now. Let's get the King's nose first. RoboKing's nose, rather. And there we go. Final doors open, and the Reactor Core that we put in there at the very beginning of the game in the tutorial has emerged. So we have another minute added to our time, and we can go collect that whenever we're ready for the stage to end. I'm probably not quite large enough to get it yet, but once I am up to that size, I'll be headed in that direction. I did get the tortoise along with the royal present on top of him. Let's also go, if I can, get the royal present in the RoboKing's crown. But now that I'm able to pick up these fence-like robo parts, I'm going to be getting some of those as well. Those are nice and sized. Actually, let's see if I'm large enough to pick up the pink leg panels. And sure enough, I am. Okay, fantastic. Probably not the larger ones, though. The larger pink panels are some of the last parts of the RoboKing that you're able to collect. So yeah, no use loitering around there for too long. Let's just get some of these. Jump over the Reactor Core. I'm not sure if I was large enough to pick it up, but I came awfully close to touching it. And here we go. Like I said, royal present there in the crown. Still not large enough to get it, but I'll probably hang around in this vicinity. I pulled the face right off of the RoboKing. That's kind of troubling. Okay, so let's look for some more things elsewhere that are around my size, and then return for that royal present. Let's see, lots of screwdrivers lying around here. They seem to spell out something, but I'm unable to read it, especially with so many pieces of it already missing. And here's some more pink leg panels, so let's go ahead and get those. And oh yes, here's that that ramp built of various objects that the third of the broken hearts was on. Let's go ahead and get that. Alright, yeah, now I'm falling down into various parts of the RoboKing. Once you've chipped away at him, he's no longer the solid surface he was at the start of things, and you start to sort of stumble around as everything is no longer really sort of the uniform surface that it was at the start. Not the best rolling surface anymore. Less than a minute remaining, so I'm going to pick up the pace here. Swing around, back up to the crown. Should be large enough to get that by now, I would think. And there we go, there's the royal present. So that's all I want to do this time. Like I said, still one royal present and still one cousin on this stage, but I don't feel that I have enough time for either of them. Actually, I should actually take a swing at the, there it was. Did you see that sandcastle flying around? That's the last of the royal presents on this stage. It's really hard to find it, and even harder to get to it, though, because it's flying around. Oh yeah, look at how cool this like hangar bay that the RoboKing is inside is. Isn't this like a fantastic environment? You barely see it actually playing the stage since the camera's above you most of the time. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Reactor Core. I'm not gonna worry about that sand castle right yet. I saw it in the foreground there, which makes me want to get it, but no, I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm just gonna complete this stage here, grab that final robo part for a total of 813 Cosmos. That's the unit of size. Royal Rainbow! Yeah, even though we're in the RoboKing's Cosmos, this entire stage, including the Robo, is narrated by the original King of all Cosmos, who's back up to full. You can even see him here at the end of the stage. Interestingly, you see the RoboKing gives the introduction to the stage, but then the King does the actual evaluation, because by the end of the stage, the RoboKing has been fully dismantled, deactivated, and turned into a Katamari. But just how big a Katamari is it? 813 Cosmos in 4 minutes 49 seconds. Yeah, similar to how I was saying last time, the King's size is just whatever it happens to need to be for the moment. They're pretty vague about the size of the RoboKing, measuring it in a fictional size. We got mostly RoboKing things, also tools and weird things. I love that rainbow in the background here, by the way. That only appeared once we regained the King's memory last time around, but I failed to point it out previously. Alright, so what's the score? What did we get? Yeah, 31 points. This is a pretty difficult stage to get a perfect score on, so I'm not at all surprised to have only gotten a 31 since I spent some time trying to get that cousin and those presents. Speaking of which, here we go. There's the first of our royal presents. Speaking of effigies. And also, here's another royal present. Guess what it is? That's the one we got from the crown, I believe. And next up should be Colombo, the yarn-like cousin. Same difference, really. Alright, so let's toss that star into space. The expensive planet. I love how this planet looks. It's like the RoboKing is the collectible still in the box. Okay, anyway, now that we're finished with that, we have... And so returned Harmony and Concord, hand in fabulous hand. Another royal save of the great cosmos. But the king has been so long asleep that his cup of dreams is full, and, oops, spilling over. Visions of then and now and forever and ever. A fabulous flood, a royal romantic strass. Cosmic confetti for the carnival of carnivals. And we get a bit of a credits roll here. We have, starring, the King of all Cosmos, the Queen, and the Prince. In the original game, they were listed as the King of all Cosmos, the Queen of all Cosmos, and the Dashing Prince, or I think just Dashing Prince. They kind of abridge those last two names here, and also they give us a list of all the cousins. Mighty is the king, and, ooh, I missed that. Patience, the new pink. The end of the start. So one more for the roll, and then peace forever. Yes, we have one roll left remaining ahead of us. So, it's not enough time for the credits here. We've got work to do. But first, let's finish what we started with the farewell stage. And we're back, rolling once again on the RoboKing, trying to get Moo, the final cousin here on this stage. And to do that, we're going to have to carry out a series of tasks, actually going on a bit of a scavenger hunt. But before I get too deep into that, let's go ahead and get a couple of these broken hearts to get the ball rolling as it is. See, like here I'm not, okay, I was just barely large enough to get some of these larger blue panels, so I'm going to roll some of those up to make myself larger before I grab the broken heart. Because even though I may not have necessarily increased which objects I was able to roll up, I was able to increase the radius affected by the broken heart by getting larger. So it's always a good idea, if you have a little bit of time on this stage, to get it just a little bit larger before picking up the broken heart. But ultimately, it's not going to make too much of a difference because there are really only so many objects in the vicinity of the broken hearts to get. This third one, oops, why did I think I needed to go that way? This third one in particular, there are very, very few objects that you could actually potentially get by getting this broken heart. So really just go ahead and get that whenever you feel like it. Alright, and so we're down to just the final door, but before I get that, let's get started on this this sort of side quest to get Moo. So to start it out, you need to get this Haniwa over here. It's like a clay statue. Where did it go? Alright, so basically there are objects on this stage that are kind of out of place that you would not expect to find lying around here. And each one of those that you obtain will cause the next one to appear, which is kind of unique in this game. You don't see a lot of that sort of thing, but it's like a secret chain. And where is it? I've rolled all the way around the king, or the RoboKing here, and I didn't see the Haniwa. Is it possible that the positions of these objects are randomized? It might be. Anyway, there should be, it should be lying around somewhere. Okay, that's kind of awkward. I'm used to it being over here somewhere. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to look around a bit more. Maybe I need to get the last broken heart first? Okay, let's try that. Let's go get the broken heart from the king's face, and then carry on from there. Because okay, got the broken heart, which means the reactor cores appeared, and so I should have a little over 2 minutes remaining. Hopefully that's enough time to do everything I need to do. Yeah, so I'm just making laps around the RoboKing looking for these various objects to carry out this. There it is. Okay, so I guess you do need to open the reactor core before it appears. Okay, so step 1 is a Haniwa. Step 2 is a fluff, which is like a flower, I guess like a dandelion. And it's right over here. It is. Okay. I think the positions aren't randomized, and I was just confused by that Haniwa not appearing. So the next object is the Geta, which was over here. Perfect. Okay, and after that is the recorder, and the recorder is up this way, I think. Actually, no, the recorder's not here. The next object is here. Where's the recorder? A little bit disorganized here, but this is kind of just a strange thing to be doing. Like, this is probably the best well-hidden cousin in the game. You would never, like, really, over the course of normal play, get all of these objects unless you really noticed that something was out of place and decided to investigate. I don't think I would have noticed, necessarily just playing this on my own, how to get this unless I was, like, incredibly intent on finding the last cousin. Because it's clear that there's another cousin on the stage, but this cousin doesn't actually appear and become collectible unless you've collected all of these other objects first. Where is that recorder? Where's the recorder? None of these objects actually appear on the RoboKing. They all appear on the ground somewhere, which I guess bears the image of the RoboKing, but they're not on the robot body itself. Recorder. Okay, well, regardless of whether I'm able to find the recorder, the object that appears after the recorder is actually pretty large, so it's not going to hurt me to try to collect some objects as I continue searching. Only one. There's the recorder, it's right there. Okay, and by getting the recorder, the emblem should appear. And there's the emblem. Okay, I guess they fall from above. when they appear, but I'm afraid I'm not going to have time to get the emblem because it's a big object, and I wasted a lot of time trying to find that recorder. I was a bit thrown off by how close it was to the emblem. I expected, once I realized where I was, that it wouldn't appear there, but it did. Okay, so let's see if I'm able to get that emblem before time runs out. I suspect I will not be. So we may be coming back here and doing this again, but that's okay because I expected to have to do this again to get the sandcastle present. Okay, yep, time is running out, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab the reactor core to make sure that I don't game over here. But then I will be back and I'm going to get Moo next time. Come on, get in there. Get in there. I can't even get the reactor core. I am terrible at this. Come on. I'm not even big enough for the reactor core. Did I really waste that much time getting the recorder? Oh my god, how embarrassing. Okay, but in any case, I'm going to be playing this again, and I'm going to be getting Moo. Okay, here's the Hanewa. Knowing that it didn't appear until I had collected the last broken heart made this process a little bit faster, and also I now have total confidence about where each object is. There's the fluffs. The next object should be the Geta, right? And that was over this way. Oops, ran into the RoboKing's leg there, and again, okay. Trying to go fast, but only messing myself up. There's the Geta, so the next thing should be the recorder, which is up this way. And once I get the recorder, the emblem will appear, but I don't think I'm large enough to get the emblem. No, not large enough to get the emblem. Fortunately, I see that we still have a little over 3 minutes left on the clock, so that should be plenty of time to get up to the proper size, because once we get the emblem, getting Moo is a simple matter. Moo is significantly smaller than the emblem itself. It's just a matter of getting over to where Moo is once you've gotten the emblem, and then being able to get back to the reactor core with time to spare. Speaking of which, don't get the reactor core. I bumped into it there, which was scary, but I wasn't large enough, so it wasn't an issue. Alright, so just trying to get larger by collecting RoboKing parts. Maybe I'll actually get a better score here than I did previously. That would be nice. I'm at 510 Cosmos currently, so still got a little while to go, but I'm getting leg parts, which is really good. These pink leg parts, like I said previously, some of the larger parts to get, and then we can get some of these like black and yellow striped parts pretty soon, I think. Let's roll into the head here. I love seeing the RoboKing's head come apart more than any other part of him. The way these yellow parts slide away, and you can see all of the little things hidden away inside. Like, I love this toy robot there inside the RoboKing's head. That's fantastic. It looks like he's riding a boat. Alright, well, whatever. Time just ticked down to 1 minute left, and, well, 1 minute really means 2 minutes. It means that we were at like 1 minute 50 seconds or something. But anyway, I think I should be about large enough to get the emblem by now, so I'm gonna head back over in that direction. Yeah, and all this time, something I never mentioned is that this game is actually a little bit more fun to play than the original Katamari Damacy because of the widescreen. Like, it seems like such an obvious thing that this game is in widescreen, but really, it makes seeing where you're going just so much easier when the middle of the screen becomes sort of like obtruded by large Katamaris like this one. You're still able to see quite a lot of things to the left and to the right of it that you wouldn't have been able to see in the game's original aspect ratio playing Katamari Damacy and Mina Daisuke Katamari on the PS2. It's just really nice to know that, oh man, I got the core. Like, I was gonna try to get the sandcastle with that 58 seconds I had remaining, and then I picked up the core. But no matter, I'll be back to get the last royal present. I'm just happy I was able to get Moo this time. So, Robo Rainbow! Huh, that's strange. The first time we completed this stage, it was the king evaluating the Katamari. Is it the RoboKing this time? Weird, he's evaluating his own Katamari. Well, as long as we're here, let's go ahead and see what our score was this time around. 767 Cosmos in about 4 minutes, so this was a faster but worse Katamari than our previous one. Once again, made up mostly of RoboKing things, which is to be expected. Yeah, a pitiful 25 points. Let's not linger here too long. There's Moo, how disturbing. So, let's go back and get that final royal present. Okay, I've gotten to a fearsome size of over 900 Cosmos, but I've got less than a minute remaining, so let's see if I'm tall enough now to jump up and grab that sandcastle. Or, more importantly, let's see if I'm lucky enough to jump in the right place. because by the time you look up to see, there, okay. I was just saying, by the time you look up to see where the sandcastle is, it's already gone too far for you to catch up to it. Like, it's difficult to time, is what I'm saying. But anyway, I got the royal present, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, overall, it's a small stage that's really simple in concept, but really, really challenging to get all the stuff on. And it's challenging to do well on, but like right now, I've got a pretty tremendous Katamari on my hands right here. 1100, almost 12, yeah, there you go, 1200 Cosmos in size. Let's go ahead, grab that Reactor Core, and head on back to space. Feels like the Robo Rainbow. Yeah, my one complaint about this stage would be that all of the objects on it pretty much are named robo parts. It would have been cool to see a little bit more variety in the naming of the objects that are specific to this stage, because even the Reactor Core that's like the final goal of the stage is still called robo parts, like everything that makes up the RoboKing that isn't just like a top hat or a toy stuck inside of him is called robo parts. Like even those like fence-like structures that surround him and form the ramps and everything, even those are called robo parts. It's just a little bit bland, but there we go. There's the royal present that I strove so hard to attain. Guess what it is, and let's make a new star, replacing that expensive planet worth 31 points with a semiconductor planet worth 81 points. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you again for the final time next time. Well, maybe final time isn't the right way to put it, for the last main episode of this series. Yeah, that's a little bit awkward, but in any case, I will see you then.